Iceland has topped gender equality rankings for the last 15 years. Perhaps one of the secrets to their success: start early. This is Laufasberg, a nursery school in the capital, Reykjavik. They do things a bit differently. The boys and the girls are separated for most of the day and are encouraged to do things usually associated with the opposite sex. It's called compensation work. The girls are taught to be unapologetic and fierce.
Eru þið sterkar eða sterkar?
Meanwhile, the boys are doing something very different. They're getting in touch with their caring side, giving each other compliments and massages. It's a teaching method called hjalli. The idea is that they develop their personalities without the pressures and constraints of conventional gender stereotypes. About 8% of children in Iceland attend these schools, and demand is growing. They've opened 17 across the country.
We need to start at the very beginning. 2 years old, they have formed their idea of what it means to be a boy or a girl, and that will limit them for the next years, especially when they're having this concrete way of thinking. It is either or, boy or a girl, you know. So we need to start early.
Why do you separate the boys and the girls?
Girls are deprived of so many possibilities. We are compensating by giving them this opportunity to show their strength, and in the single-sex settings, they are not competing with the boys at the same time. If everything is mixed, the girls will step back. It is the same with boys. We also need to give them compensation for what they have been deprived of based on gender, giving them the possibility of being more social, not only individually strong as they are, but helping them to train the kindness and closeness. I love what I'm doing. We all do. We believe that we are changing the world.
That's how you do it. Because gender ideologies are made up of social norms, what you see them doing is an example of trying to establish new social norms as the gender ideology there. So what you saw them teaching those girls is a version of femininity that they want those girls to internalize and practice as adults. But is there a trade-off there? When those girls and boys grow up and the girls want masculinity in men and the boys want femininity in women, well, those girls are going to see some boys who are quite feminized if, this is widespread. And the same thing with the boys, because as you heard them say in the video, they're teaching the girls to be unapologetic and fierce. So they're teaching them to be more disagreeable and less cooperative. But there is a consequence. It does affect mating practices. Women do tend to like masculinity in men. Men do tend to like femininity in women. And even though it varies from culture to culture, in each culture, let's say something like being sensitive and caring and nurturing, those are traits more strongly associated with femininity. Just like being aggressive, high levels of risk-taking, leadership, those things, they tend to be more strongly associated with masculinity. So when you swap those roles, the perception will be that we've got feminized males and masculinized females. So that video there is an example of how you use social norms to change people's behavior by changing the collection of social norms that make up their gender ideology. And to some extent, this is what happened in Western civilization over the past 50, 60 years. When we talk about that transition from traditional women to modern women, that's what happens. The social norms that make up the femininity gender ideology, they changed from what we recognize as traditional to what we now recognize as the modern, independent, empowered woman.